Welcome to Level Check Roblox. This is your in-game parent review for Pack and Order, and we're here to answer one simple question. Is this game suitable for your child? Remember, nobody knows your child better than you do, and it's my job here at Level Check to play these games so you don't have to, and give you a summary so that you can make a decision if a game is suitable. As always, the timestamps are below if you need them, and if you wouldn't mind just hitting the thumbs up button to help other parents find this content, then that would help me out too. So let's dive straight into this game. So starting off on the game homepage under the up and coming and now also in the top trending spot is Pack and Order with 81% like rate and just over 13,000 players when I reviewed this one. The game maturity label here is minimal. It says that it is suitable for everyone, which is always great to see. And one thing about my reviews is that I am completely independent. I am not endorsed by Roblox or the game developers. So what you hear from me today is exactly how I see it as a parent. But looking at the description here, it is really quite simple. You've got to pick some toys off of shelves, pack and order correctly, and then send it off in a truck. It's quite a new game. On the 30th of June 2026, it was created and launched, and the update here is the 12th of July 2026, so that's the play test version that we're going to go with today. So let's jump straight in and see what this is all about. A lot of these games recently look very similar in the way they're created. I don't know if the developers are all using some kind of blueprint or some sort of AI programming to make it look very similar. But this one, like a lot of the ones, certainly the library games and the other cleaning games that I've played recently, it starts off in a lobby. There are the usual things. There's your group rewards where you have to join a community. There's invite friends that also gives you a perk if you invite people to play the game. And then there is a shop at the end where you can spend Robux. Again, the game passes in this shop are very similar to a lot of the games that I've played. They give you perks in the game. They tend to last a bit longer than a one-off. They are permanent additions. There are instructions on the walls of how to play the game. And of course, for this one, just be aware that there is still the localized chat and global chat options for your child. So just make sure you're happy with them talking and interacting with other people. And this one does give you the option to either join up in groups of 2, 3, or 4, or you can play the game singularly. So there isn't anything here. There's no aggressive adverts. There's no issues with this lobby. Let's jump straight into a solo game and see what the actual game is all about. So let's look at gameplay mechanics, and this game is a nice, simple one to understand. You grab a box from the stack, you put it onto a workstation, that then generates a customer order form. Now, the play area is split into 5 different departments, and in those departments are different coloured items and different types of items that will match the different orders on the checklist. But as you can see, yeah, it's quite a lot here, so the idea is you're supposed to fill up all the boxes with all of these different orders, and then that is the end of the game. Once you have selected the items that you need, you have to put them onto the table. Once the order is then complete on the table, it will allow you to pack the box, and then you can put those items in, tape it up, and then put the box into a lorry, sending it on its way. Completing that process then provides you with experience points that allow you to level up your character, where you can then go into the upgrades tab and you can buy different player upgrades that will help you run through the game a bit quicker. The sorts of things like increased carry capacity or the speed that your character moves. So just before we jump into a risk review to do due diligence on this game, one thing I did find was that it is in first person mode and it is very sensitive, so it can be almost a little bit jarring and make you feel a little bit sick. You can go into the settings and switch that to third person mode, but the trade-off there is that I found in third person it was really difficult to locate the items and pick up the one that you needed because it wasn't registering what I was looking at and what I was trying to pick up. So maybe that's something that will change as the development continues. So the level check risk review then is 0 stars being minimal or none and 5 stars being the maximum. And I'll kick it off with violence. So with violence, I'm looking for any kind of combat or inappropriate and potentially distressing scenes. Definitely looking for things like blood or any kind of use of weapons and that. There is absolutely nothing of the sort in this game. It is about cute toys being put into boxes and then sent off in a lorry. There is absolutely nothing here, so that gets a 0 stars. And we might as well continue rattling through this and move straight into psychological and emotional. So in psychological and emotional issues, I like to look at things that are either going to cause your child real world nightmares, build fear or tension, or have some kind of emotional impact, like inducing some kind of rage or frustration through the gameplay. And honestly, other than there being so many items that it can be difficult to find the one that you're looking for, there is absolutely nothing here either. So this gets a 0 stars as well from me for psychological and emotional. So let's move on to financial, and here I'm looking for things like aggressive pop-ups or adverts, anything that's going to mislead your child into spending their Robux or real-world money. And honestly, there isn't a great deal in this game, which I was even surprised at. There aren't tons of purchase buttons littered around. Everything is within the upgrade section where you can buy 1 or 5 points for Robux. These will give a one-off boost to the game that the person is playing, and actually I hadn't realised, but in pro mode these are disabled. But then moving on with that, the only other things that I could see that you could buy were out in the lobby. And again, they were very clearly labeled as being into the shop and then behind a very clear menu that tells you what you're spending and what you're getting for your Robux. And again, the other thing is that these look like game passes that are permanent to your character. So I genuinely don't have any problems with that, because it isn't like you're buying these for a one-off use that is essentially pointless after it's been used. So let's wrap this up with a quick summary. In my view, this game gets 0 stars, which is a minimal rating for violence, psychological, emotional, and finance. I don't think there is anything here that is going to cause your child any problems. Everything seems transparent and it is suitable for children of all ages. If anything, the game can just take a very long time and could become quite tedious. But other than that, there are absolutely no issues here that you need to worry about, in my view. If this video has been useful to you today, please hit the thumbs up button to help other parents find this kind of content, and subscribe to Level Check Roblox for more in-game reviews just like this, because not every game is as harmless as it appears on the maturity labels. Thanks so much for watching.